welcome back to another Midnight Who Show review, and it's finally the release of The Batman. Seriously, I've been super excited for this film ever since the first teaser trailer came out at DC Fandom all the way back in 2020. And I can say that this film did not disappoint. Now, I can say, before we start reviewing this movie, this will be filled with spoilers. Just letting you guys know. Now let's talk about that runtime. It is not quite. It's about 2 hours and 55 minutes with the credits. But I think that it needed all of those minutes. Seriously, Matt Reeves has crafted such a really interesting mystery as this film progressed. And honestly, I don't see much that could be trimmed from this film. You know, honestly, the weaker part of this film is unfortunately that third act. I didn't enjoy it as much as the other two parts, but it still served as a really important moment because we get to see Batman, well, basically begin in a way. Because, you know, throughout this film, he's kind of more a figure of vengeance and fear and the criminals. But for me, by the end moment, he's saving the people of Gotham. And that's a great transition. You know, he goes from the person in the shadows to the light almost. And now you can kind of strike fear in the criminals, but hopefully hope in the people of Gotham. And that was really good. And I will say, that scene with Batman and Riddler in Arkham, wow, amazing. Paul Dano, fantastic performance. Let's talk about shadows for a second. At the beginning of this film, I really liked that monologue by Robert Pattinson as Batman, as he's kind of saying what the bat signal does to criminals and how it strikes fear in them. And you see all these little criminals in the city see the shadows, and they're like not sure if the Batman's gonna appear. And I really like that because it's just so kind of like they're just like so fearful, and you can see how much that changes what they're doing. And when finally Batman does strike one of these groups of criminals, and then we're in a kind of subway, wow, that was from that trailer, and it's still just hearing that in the big screen and that vengeance, fantastic moment. I absolutely enjoyed it. Speaking of another shadows, so when the mayor gets killed by the Riddler, that was so creepy how the Riddler is like right behind him in that shadow and you just kind of see him. Now this film has some amazing direction by Matt Reeves. He did a phenomenal job. He's crafted a really unique Gotham, and I really want to see more of this world he's built. You know, it's a lot more realistic, and I love the look of it. Seriously, it had an amazing look as you kind of see the various parts of the city. Wow, it looked amazing. This movie with some amazing performances. Seriously, I think the entire cast was amazing. Robert Pattinson is the Batman. He just nailed this role. The way he just has the Batman voice, the kind of the fighting, all that. He just nailed that. Bruce Wayne, I think, needs a little bit of work, just for me. But it's not like a bad Bruce Wayne, though. But I think we just need to see kind of more of it. But because I really do like his kind of relationship with Alfred in this film. You know, I think that was really well developed. And the actor who played Alfred, you know, was great. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, great. I love the Bat and the Cat. I love their scenes together. Batman and Gordon, I really like that. Because, you know, Gordon, you know, you can kind of say maybe doesn't quite trust him a little bit. But he's still letting him on these crime scenes, and you get to see how people are reacting to that, and they're like, why are you bringing this vigilante here? It's like, why? I really liked one scene in particular, because they literally did a thumb drive. But I love the look of Gordon when he's just looking at it like, oh, of course. There are things that I didn't enjoy with this movie. Well, I mentioned the third act. You know, I don't think it's as, you know, it was weaker. But let's talk about, well, the Joker in the room. Yes, this film ended with an appearance by the Joker. Okay, I think that's awesome. You know, it teases more villains in this world. I don't know if we necessarily needed to see the Joker this soon, but I think, and I've read some, you know, I've listened to his interview, this is not quite the Joker yet. Because this is what we're getting. We're getting the beginning stages of the Batman's Rogues Gallery. So I think there's a lot more time to see this Joker, and we'll see what happens. But it's a mixed element of this film. Let's talk about the Penguin, by the way. Wow. Seriously, amazing performance. Let's talk about the Penguin for a second. I absolutely enjoyed this Penguin. Seriously, the transformation they did with the actor they chose, you could even tell it was so cool looking. The look of this Penguin, and I will say, my favorite scene in this movie is that car chase. Wow, because we saw a little bit of it in the trailer. As Batman approaches, I just absolutely enjoyed that scene. And the scene after, how they're kind of interrogating the Penguin, so cool, such a good scene. But the Batmobile, from that moment it first came on the screen, I'm like, this is an amazing Batmobile. Oh boy, I can't wait to see this more thing in action. It feels so much more of a simple Batmobile, but wow, there's a lot of things in this Batmobile. Overall, I absolutely enjoyed the Batman. I love this new Gotham we get to explore. I cannot wait to see the future of it. Because we got HBO Max spinoffs and future films. I want to see more of this, because you get to see such of the beginning stages of this new world. We get to see the beginning of the Penguin's rise. We get to see some villains, and there's now a Joker running around who's has some more time to explore. And there's the Riddler. He's such a great villain, and I definitely can see him in the future. And we get to see Robert Pattinson kind of become basically a changed Batman in a way by the end of this film, at least for me. And I cannot wait to see any of it. But seriously, yeah, the Batman is phenomenal. It's one of the best Batman films. And yeah, go watch it if you haven't seen it. But let me know your thoughts on the Batman in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.